Welcome to the Mavens Do It Better podcast. And now, your host, Heather Newman.
So hello everybody, we're here again with another episode of Mavens Do It Better, and I'm sitting here in South Williamsburg, in Brooklyn, in New York City, at Bia, this amazing restaurant where a good friend bartends, John. I call him Sexy John, but that's just me. And I'm sitting here with a lovely friend that I play dominoes with sometimes when I'm in town, and that I get to see. And do you want to tell everybody your name?
Jack Greenhut.
Jack Greenhut. You know, I don't think I actually ever knew your last name.
I don't know yours.
Well, it's Newman, so fair enough.
There you have it.
That's great. So, Jack, how long have you lived here, or where are you from?
Well, I've been in New York all my life except a year in San Jose.
Okay.
But on the block about a dozen years.
Yeah.
Where I was homeless on the block for 2 years. I had a car. I wasn't in the street. I had a car, and I met a bunch of lovely people, the owners and patrons and original residents of the neighborhood.
Okay.
Who are loving and kind and generous, and I keep coming back because I want to see them.
Yeah, that's why I keep coming back here. And the food's pretty good, too, right?
Yeah, the food's pretty good.
Yeah.
But the owners here, I don't pay for food in this restaurant.
Yeah.
Dude
nice.
just gave me I don't abuse that, but
People take care of people, right?
people still take care of me here, yeah. Or,
Because they beat you at dominoes.
no, they don't. I don't let that happen.
So you've seen this, so you've lived here for a while, and you've seen the lots
I
of
never
change, yeah?
lived in Williamsburg.
Oh, okay.
I had a loft in Dumbo for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Then I was thrown out of that for $350 a month.
How much again? Say that again. Wait, you had a loft in Dumbo that you got kicked out of by the fire department, and
Yeah, but before that, I came to Dumbo in 77.
77. Okay.
Before the landlord knew what he had.
Oh.
And I knew what he had.
Right.
I wrote the lease.
Oh my goodness.
Well, I had law school 1 year.
Okay.
And then we submitted the lease to an attorney, and he tweaked it a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And the landlord signed it.
Okay.
Now, it was 10 years with an option to renew for 10 years.
Are you kidding?
And the
Wow.
beginning rent was $350 a month, I think,
Wow.
for all the space that I had.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I fucked him good.
Well, that's an issue here, isn't it? Rent control, right?
Well, rent control is something else. I mean, rent control and rent stabilization are both issues. Rent control happened after World War II, I think.
Right.
And it just prevented the landlords from gouging the newly returned veterans,
Oh, okay.
I think is why they did that.
Right.
Now, there are some units that have been continuously occupied, and their rent is as small as mine is now. It's,
Right.
rent stabilization prevents the landlord from going to market rate people who have been in place a certain amount of years. I think that's
Yeah.
correct.
Sure. Yeah.
You know.
So you've been in New York City though, how long?
I'm 70. I've been in the city 69 years.
Wow.
I'm ready to move.
You ready to move?
Yeah, because I'm older and firm and poor.
Yeah.
And that's difficult here, I think.
Yeah.
Although I figured it out. I got my transportation, my doctors, my friends, my pharmacy sends me my drugs if I can't get
Right.
them,
Okay.
But I'm tired of the fight.
Yeah.
Seems to me there's a lot more fight.
Yeah.
Fight the cab driver, fight this, fight that. I don't want to do that anymore.
Yeah. Something's kept you here though for a long time. Yeah.
Well, I don't have the money to move.
You don't like, okay, fair enough.
I don't know where I'd go either.
Yeah.
A friend of mine said he wanted to go to Arizona.
Yeah.
I said, Tommy, you give me 5 minutes notice and I'm with you.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's not going to happen.
Yeah. Arizona's not a bad place, I think.
Well, except for its representation.
Well, yeah.
You know.
Let's be fair.
Yeah, right. Although the warmth is good for me. It's good for my bones.
Yeah, absolutely. When did you start playing dominoes?
About 6 years ago, as soon as this place opened, John, the bartender, taught me how to play dominoes.
Oh, yeah? You're pretty fierce.
Why not?
I know, it's good. I know. I think I might have won one round.
You may have.
I don't know.
I may have been off my game for half a minute. So I keep coming back to this neighborhood, you know, I mean, I don't see a lot of the people that I saw years ago. They've left or changed jobs or whatever, but I still know all the owners.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I just text one of the owners up the block. He's losing a doorman. I'd love to be the doorman now.
Oh, okay.
So we'll see.
There's so many little bars and restaurants and clubs and stuff around.
On this 2 blocks, there's 4 bars.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
All of them are very different qualities and characteristics, but you can drink in all 4 of them.
All right. the grand equivocator.
Which I don't do anymore. I don't drink because I'm afraid of falling.
Yeah.
You know.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You don't want to do that for sure. What, and so you said you went to law school.
Oh, yeah. For a year.
Yeah.
I couldn't stand it, but I did rather well.
Yeah.
Because I studied philosophy in college.
Okay.
And philosophy, City College, Queens and City, yeah.
Okay.
And philosophy tries to broaden what it encompasses.
Right.
And law tries to narrow
Right.
the question. So if you've ever read a ladder, you'll see all kinds of warning stickers on a ladder.
Sure.
Don't step on the paint tray. Don't step on the top. Don't put the ladder in mud.
Yeah.
Don't. All of those warnings are results of lawsuits.
Do you think every warning is
Well,
probably the result, like anywhere? in
At
a way?
product liability, yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, a woman got $1 million from McDonald's because
Oh, right.
of the coffee.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Come on, lady, give me a break.
Yeah, we're kind of litigious here in the United States. aren't
Very litigious. Yes,
Yeah.
indeed.
we? Yeah. Did you stopped after a year? Is it that you just didn't want to be a lawyer? Or?
Right. I didn't like it.
Yeah.
I didn't like thinking that way. They teach you a certain way to think. It's not normal.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's a different way of thinking, that's for sure.
Yeah. You know, I've had occasion to consult lawyers in the past,
Yeah.
and I value them because what the law does is keep people off one another's necks,
Yeah. Sure.
and that you have redress.
Right.
And I can appreciate that. It's just, I have a friend of mine who's a lawyer, and I was sitting with a guy who's a longshoreman, and I said, yeah, I pointed to the longshoreman, and I said, and Michael, this guy works.
What do you say to that?
Michael didn't say much. He's
Yeah.
a sweetheart, though.
Yeah.
And if I have a question, he'll try to answer it for me.
Yeah. So you went to college and you had law school. What did you have other jobs?
Oh, yeah, for 25 years, I did construction.
Oh, okay.
I renovated lofts, tenements, and brownstones in the city,
Wow.
in Manhattan and Brooklyn.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I loved it. I can't do it now, and I miss it a lot.
Yeah. So were you like in there, like working the machinery? Were you foreman or how did that work?
Both.
Both. You did it all.
Yeah, I was a foreskin. I was the owner of the company.
Wow. Okay. Yeah.
I would keep a project on the side myself, so I wasn't doing managerial duties. I could go work.
Right. Wow. So was it the commercial stuff, or was it is it the buildings that we know and see that I?
Mostly residential.
Mostly residential.
Interior renovations,
Oh, okay. That's great.
new walls, staircases,
Right. Yeah.
stuff like that.
What was your favorite thing about doing that, or what was your favorite one thing?
Electric work.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I liked it because it was, you had to kind of suss things out.
Right.
Some kind, they have hidden junction boxes.
Okay.
So you have to figure out, well, why isn't this thing responding the way it is? And then you have to find the box. And
Right.
And it's pretty clean work, too,
Yeah.
which I like.
Yeah. My grandfather built my grandparents' house.
Oh, wow.
He worked in a cement plant his entire life in
Uh-huh.
Michigan.
And he died of silicosis?
Well, might have.
Almost.
Yeah. But when they went to go redo the house, because he had done all the wiring himself, they were like, there's a blue wire and a green wire and a yellow wire. We don't know what the hell is connected to.
I've seen some of that. I've seen some of that. It's fun to suss it out, though. I like that.
Yeah.
People think that because you work with your hands and your back, you're stupid.
Yeah.
First of all, there are no stupid electricians. They're all dead. And
That's no joke.
you count the fingers on a carpenter's hand,
Right.
and you'll see just how careful he is.
Right.
So you got to use your head.
Yep. Yep.
What I used to do, I'd have a problem. I'd think about it until I kept repeating myself. Then I had to do something. And then I'd think about it again. So I called this sort of dialectic between doing and thinking.
Right. Wow.
And that served me well.
Yeah. Absolutely. I didn't know you were in construction. I hadn't asked you, I guess. So
Right.
why would I know? Yeah.
I hadn't asked you if you were married for 100 years.
That's true. Not 100, but, yeah. No, it's fun. I really, something keeps bringing me back to New York, And,
Well, it's still this extraordinary. What I like about New York is chance.
yeah.
We met by chance.
Yeah.
I sit sometimes and meet people at the bar by chance. The bar, I got to say this about the bar, though. I really do. A bar is the most democratic institution in the United States. For the price of a Coca-Cola, you can sit with anyone and talk all night. That, to me, is democracy, not this sham that we have here.
Right.
You know, and it's all self-selected.
Yep.
You know, I got angry at a guy once in 6 years. I told him to shut his mouth. And
That's bad odds.
happened recently. I was ashamed of myself.
Really?
Yeah, because, you know, hail fellow, well met. All comers welcome.
Yep.
But this guy was too much.
Yeah. No, I think you're right. I feel like New York is very welcoming, and people say New Yorkers are so...
I think it's a very friendly place. It used to be. I don't know so much anymore because I don't get around much.
Yeah. Right.
But it used to be a very friendly place.
Yeah, I found it to be very friendly always. But yeah, the energy here too is different than any place else.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
And you lived in San Jose, you said?
San Jose in 1969.
Oh, wow.
I was in Vista.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's summer of love, right?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I also hitchhiked across country.
You hitchhiked across the country?
Took 6 weeks.
Get out of town.
I think in 68 I was in San Jose. In 69 I hitchhiked across country. Yeah.
Okay. How was that?
Oh, incredible! I still tell stories about that trip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Did you go by yourself or were you with a pal?
I had a pal with
Yeah.
Richard Lucy. We called him Luce
Yeah.
or Lucy. Yeah. I've actually tried to look him up, but I had to
Oh, yeah.
pay for the detective to do that. I don't have the money. I would like to talk to him.
Richard Lucy. You know what? I'll look him up for you.
Okay, Lucy.
L-U-C-Y?
There's one in Indiana
Yeah.
and maybe one in Utah. I got that far without having to pay.
Okay. I'll look him up and see if I can find him for you. I'd be happy to do that.
He's about my age, I think. Maybe a year or two older.
Okay.
If he's still,
Yeah,
if he
still
didn't
kicking.
shuffle off his mortal coil.
Yes. Oh my goodness. So, how old were you when you did that?
21.
21, and you hitchhiked across the country?
Yeah.
Wow. Did you start from here?
George Washington Bridge.
Oh my goodness. Who picked you up first? Remember?
No, I don't. I remember going through Ohio, and Lucy and I were hungry.
Yeah.
So he said, you find us a diner or something? She was just down the road a piece.
Oh yeah?
That was 45 minutes later.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
So that was our first introduction to kind of rural stuff.
Yeah,
you know?
sure. And being outside of New York for the first time, right?
No, I was in Chicago for half a minute,
Okay.
but just to try to visit someone, and then I came back.
Right. Wow. So did you go to Ohio? I'm from Illinois in the Midwest myself, and I've driven out west that way with my parents when I was a kid. But, So did you go through Denver and all of that? Did you go to Colorado?
Yeah, we were in Denver. People took us in Denver. They took us in Albuquerque.
Okay.
They took us in Kansas City, Missouri. That's a great story. In Kansas City, Missouri, we called up the Society of Friends, the Quakers, and said, look, the two of us are traveling and we don't have much money and we could use a place to stay. So they said, why don't you call up Bert and Lynn Howard?
Okay.
I remember their address and everything, right?
Right.
So we called them and they said, yeah, come on over. And the address was 4712 Charlotte Avenue. This happened 50 years ago, I guess, almost, yeah. Kansas City, Missouri. And we got a lift from 14 people on a VW, and 2 more didn't matter, right?
Oh my goodness.
And they dropped us right in front.
Wow.
Bert and Lynn were really giving people. They had 2 children. Pagan, who was 3 years old, I know.
Wow.
And Theo, who was a year and a half.
Okay.
And Lucy started calling Pagan Bad Pagan, and then BP. At the end of our 2-day stay, his mother, Lynn, was calling her son BP.
Oh my goodness.
That's how cool these people were.
Yeah.
And they fed us and washed our clothes and took us to the family swimming hole.
Wow.
That's 1969, I guess. In 1980, I went to a New Year's Eve party. Now, my friend grew up in Kansas City.
Wow.
His parents were at the New Year's Eve party and knew Bert and Lynn Howard.
Oh, you know, the world is so small.
I know,
sometimes,
sometimes.
right? That's so...
And they were able to tell me, where they were and what they were doing.
Got an update,
Yeah, Lynn was a doctor and Bert was a film editor.
Oh, wow.
And they had gone back to England. She was English.
Oh, okay. What was California like at that time?
We got held up at gunpoint outside Berkeley.
You did?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay, everybody out. So we're standing there on the side of the road with our hands up and this big old handgun in front of our faces.
Wow.
Fortunately, somebody came by. And we jumped like gazelles over a barbed wire fence.
Sure.
And they took off.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Why did you decide to do that? To go on the trip?
I don't know. Oh. Maybe it's because I lost my girlfriend.
Yeah.
That's why I got out to San Jose.
Yeah?
Yeah, I got out to San Jose because we split up. And I wanted to get as far away as I could.
That's awfully far.
Like the emigrants, right? The Conestoga wagons.
Yes.
They got to the ocean and said, oh, fuck it, that's it then.
Right.
We're going to settle in California.
What we don't do when we have a broken heart, right?
Yeah, you get on the road.
Yeah.
So then I came back after a year, and Lucy and I don't know why, I never asked myself that question. I was moving.
Yeah.
I crossed country about 8-10 times.
Oh, you did?
Flew, hitched, and drove about 5 or 6 times.
Oh, wow.
I used to love to drive, man.
Yeah.
That bubble at 2 in the morning.
Oh, yeah. Nothing like with the radio on.
No drugs.
Yeah. No, just go.
Yeah. Nice feeling.
Well, that's so cool.
Yeah.
What's your favorite thing about, I don't know, like just life in general?
Oh, that's hard.
Yeah, I know. It's not an easy question.
Well, yeah, because I'm not reading and I'm not writing. I haven't done that in a while, which I'm disappointed in myself.
Yeah?
So coming out here and making common cause with people
Yeah.
is what I feel compelled to do because I'm not terribly good on my own.
Yeah.
You know, I just ruminate and all that shit.
Yep.
So I come out and people are stimulated, or sometimes they are.
Yeah.
But at least I'm part of the tribe, you know.
Yeah. We all want to feel like we belong, right?
Yeah.
I think bars sometimes are the places where, it's like, it's that tradition of, the English pub or, all of that sort of thing, right?
That's where I eat on Thursday afternoons. I eat with a friend of mine. This place is almost modeled after an English pub.
Oh, really?
Yeah, food is delicious.
Wow.
I know everybody.
Yeah.
I don't know all the patrons. I know some of the patrons.
Sure.
I know the bartender, the owner, and the waiter.
Yeah.
And I like to go where I'm greeted.
Yeah.
Hi, Jack, how are you? You want your drink? You want to sit here? That kind of thing.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Did you ever see that with that Cheers where Norm would come in the bar and they'd yell?
I never liked it.
Never liked
I
that
don't
so
like
much?
canned laughter.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I really don't.
Right?
Yeah.
I went to a taping of a TV show and watched that, and I thought it was
Applause.
so weird. I know. I thought it was fun. Like I was like, don't tell me to laugh.
I know.
I will not talk about the finger he just held up. But, well, I enjoy talking to you so much.
Oh, I enjoyed this too.
When I
Thank
see
you.
And you always have a sparkle in your eye. Which,
sorry?
You always have a sparkle in your eye.
If I wasn't laughing, I'd be crying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't that the truth?
Life's hard.
Yeah, it is. It is. There's a lot of behind a lot of the smiling eyes. There's a lot of pain and sorrow and grief.
Yeah.
So, but it's.
But I came through the other side. That's
Yeah.
the thing.
Yeah.
So I did come through the other side.
Yeah. No. You're doing well. Every time I see you, you got a big
Thank you.
grin, which I love.
Yeah. Oh well.
You're sweet. Well, everybody, I'm gonna sign off with lovely Jack. Any last hellos for the folks on the line?
Well, no, just thank you, Heather, and just keep on keeping on.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're my pleasure.
Everybody, that was another Mavens Do It Better podcast here in Williamsburg. I was like, blah, blah, blah. Williamsburg at Bia with the lovely Jack. Thanks, everybody.
Okay, that's great.
The original music on this podcast was created by Jesse Case.